Hey yo, what is going on everybody? Depraved Slash here, and we are back with another music reaction. I'm Depraved.
I'm Hellcat.
And together we are
HellaDepraved.
We are also Deadpool and Spider-Man. Just saying.
I needed a night shirt.
We haven't done laundry in a while. Oh, laundry's gonna be hell this weekend too. There's gonna be a lot of it, and not much time to do it.
Right. Sucks not having one in the apartment.
True. I am super excited about this for a couple of reasons. One, we haven't, I think, at all together. But I
reacted to Vin Jay.
But I definitely haven't reacted to Vin Jay in a very long time.
Huh, okay.
Which Vin Jay, bro, I am so sorry, dude. I swear, all the independent artists
drop at the same time these
pump
days.
so much music out as a whole. It is hard to keep up with everything.
Right.
But we're here.
Now. I follow him. I like Vin Jay a lot.
Oh yeah, Vin Jay is hella fucking talented.
Mm-hmm. I swear I've seen him in something recently that maybe I didn't react with you. Maybe it was one of the ones you did when I wasn't feeling that great. Still not. Caffeine for possible caffeine withdrawal headache.
Right. But yeah, so this is called Don't Do It, which is a song, if I remember reading correctly, about depression and suicide.
Okay. So trigger warnings for...
Yes, which is always some of my favorite music personally, because I went through several years of very, very, very deep depression.
Been there?
Never got suicidal, but
right.
Definitely had a death wish.
Big difference.
Yeah. I wasn't going to kill myself, but I was totally cool if somebody would have ran me over.
Right. Or, you know, if you let go of the wheel accidentally, or, yeah.
No, that'd still be suicide. I mean, there's no accidental at that point.
I always wondered, like, what would happen if I just let go of the wheel temporarily.
That's just psychotic.
Kind of thoughts. You do that? Jeez.
Christopher Titus had a joke one time that was like, there are psychos and then there are functioning psychos. The difference between psychos and functioning psychos is this and this. He's like...
I've never done it, so I'm a functioning psycho.
He was like, functioning psychos are the people that drive like this, but the actual psychos see the lady that's carrying her souffle to church and is like...
Yeah, but see, the difference in the analogy there is I wasn't contemplating running over someone.
I know.
I mean, I thought about that too, but yeah.
People are going to be like, unsub, these people are fucking nuts.
They shouldn't be trusted in society.
That's why we're hella depraved, yo.
I have been in a deep enough depression to be like, I wouldn't care if I didn't wake up, kind of thing.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is called Don't Do It by Vin Jay. We're going to slash it up, break it down, talk about it as we do. If you don't like pause, this ain't the spot for you. So,
not at all.
With that being said, let's get it. Or don't get it, because don't do it.
Don't do it.
I don't know. Let's see what goes on here. Shout out to J2E Productions as well, who does all of Vin Jay's videos.
Shout out.
Trigger warning. Already? Again, guys, if this bothers you, swim away.
Choose to watch or don't, but the warning's there.
Never thought I'd try suicide, but my mind is a prison, I'm peeking through the blinds. And I know my decision will be scrutinized, but you can't judge a man until you looking through his eyes. Cause they wanna call me selfish, wake up every day the same and I feel helpless. Everyone around me telling me life's precious, but all I feel is pain, so pardon me if I'm skeptic.
This is rough for me, because I had a near suicide attempt as a teenager. and have thought many of these same things right before I was getting ready to do it. Thankfully, I had an Eminem song that pulled me out of it, and
But it is deep, and it is raw, and it is a message that people need to hear. Honestly, when you're that deep in depression, whether there's a cause to it, like something happened that actually preceded it, or it's mental instability, chemicals in your brain, being told that life is precious and that there's something to live for doesn't help. Doesn't do anything, because the way that you're perceiving it, like he said, unless you look through my eyes, you don't see what I'm seeing. You're not being treated the way I feel I'm being treated. Why are you telling me life is so great? It's my thought was always like, well, I'm happy that your life is that great, but mine isn't.
Right.
It's circular logic, but it's there. Yeah.
You know, again, as somebody that has gone through this as a teenager, and dealing with the depression that I've had as an adult, to be honest, you can never really get yourself out of this situation until you want to.
Right.
One of my favorite moments.
Again, people, that's not a judgment. If you're going through something like this, that just means that the change does come from within you, whether it's for a purpose outside of you, or it's just a decision you make, the medication that you're put on, a song that you hear. It's
one of my favorite moments of an example of this actually came from a TV show, The Walking Dead. Early on in the series, the main crew gets to Herschel's farm in season 2, and they run across two sisters. One of them, Maggie, is the older sister, and for the life of me, I can't remember what the younger sister's name is right off the top of my head. But the younger sister is very suicidal, and she eventually gets to the point where Andrea is tired of trying to watch her, and she's put on watch to keep an eye on her, but she decides to get up and walk away because she's like, you know what, if she wants to do it, she's going to do it. If she doesn't, she won't. At which point the younger sister actually attempts it, and after the attempt realizes that she wants to live, and finds the will to stop thinking and survive.
I mean, honestly, that's all it is at the beginning, is survival, getting through the next minute, the next breath.
I mean, I definitely urge you guys, do not attempt it.
Don't attempt it to see if you want to live.
To see if you want to live. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that was my favorite example of finding that inner will to do it.
I've heard a lot of examples like that, and the sad thing is that there are some people that do discover they want to live and still die because there's nothing they can do that last minute. But like he said in the beginning of the song, it doesn't matter what choice he makes. He knows people are going to judge him for it, and I don't think that that's something that we as a society should be doing.
No, it's not our place to.
No. I mean, the claims that it was a selfish move and so on and so forth. Again, you don't know what they were dealing with inside in those last moments, and therefore compassion is what's needed for their plight and for the people that cared about them that are still continuing, not judgment calls.
Right.
Around me telling me life's precious, but all I feel is pain, so pardon me if I'm skeptic. I've been feeling sick of feeling worthless, sick of acting like every day has been so perfect, sick of feeling pain, fake smiles on the surface, sick of waking up knowing I don't have a purpose, and I don't want to die, but I know it's for the best, trying to find peace, but I know there's nothing left.
Again, I remember being young and thinking about all this. And
like teenager, young, or
yeah, going back to my almost attempt. I didn't want to be a burden on people's lives.
Right.
And I felt like I was. Because I didn't feel like I had anything to offer anyone. Both my parents had their issues that I'm not going to blast on the internet. But with their issues, I didn't feel like I personally could turn to them with my problems. At this moment in my life, I didn't have any friends in school.
Right.
I was like the outcast in school. And then the friends I had at home, like my buddy Joe and other handfuls of my friends, they were either starting to really get into drugs, which was not something I wanted to do, so I was no longer hanging out with them. Or, like in Joe's case and a couple others, they were in new relationships, so they were always spending time with their significant others. And I went through a short period of time where I didn't feel like I had anyone.
I've definitely been there, same age-ish.
And yeah, I didn't want to be a burden on people's lives anymore. I felt like the world would have been better off without me.
And honestly, that burden feeling is something I've struggled with most of my life.
Yeah, definitely.
Not feeling like I have something to contribute to the people around me, especially with the fibro. I'm on disability, if you didn't know. So therefore, it just doesn't make me feel like much of a contributor.
Right.
But I like how he says that he doesn't know his purpose, because a lot of times purpose is what changes that survival instinct. I'm not saying the will to live or that it pulls you out of your depression, because the struggle is still there, but that purpose, finding a purpose.
Right, like my purpose, like I said, I even deal with depression as an adult. My purpose to get through it and not have suicidal thoughts were my kids.
Right. But it's still a struggle, is what I'm saying. You just find that reason and you hold on to it.
Right.
I wanna die, but I know it's for the best. Trying to find peace, but I know there's nothing left. Only time I feel bliss is the moment of my death. Maybe I can finally smile as I take my last breath. Try to turn the page, I'm stuck in the same chapter. Searching for some love, I ain't finding what I'm after. Swear these damn thoughts controlling me like a cancer. What's the point of life? I can never find the answer. Damn. And I don't wanna make my mother cry, but all the pain I've been feeling is being multiplied. So when she finally comes to terms that her son has died, tell her I'm looking for happiness on the other side. And I don't wanna live like this, I'm on my own. And I don't wanna leave right now, but I'm all alone. Cause I don't wanna feel this pain, I'd rather die right now. I just wanna be okay.
This is deep. I really like how he used the reference to he feels he's stuck on the same chapter. Like he's just, there's no progress whatsoever.
Right.
His story is staying exactly the same every day that he wakes up. It's the same feeling, the same thoughts. Not getting better.
And you know, even as adults, more so as teenagers, definitely. More so as teenagers and even young adults. I mean, I'm in my mid-30s now. I can remember, and something a lot of us do, and you kind of almost have to have this attitude and this thick skin about you, especially if you're doing this YouTube thing, where you got to be like, I don't give a fuck what people think. I'm doing this for me, whether they like it or not. And even in life, you kind of got to have that attitude when you're chasing the things that you're chasing, dreams, whatever.
In your career.
But regardless of what anyone says, there is always a longing for acceptance.
Yep.
You can say you don't care what people think, and it's one of those double-edged swords where on one hand, it's its own little area of that idea too, though. Like, I don't think I don't care what the masses think,
I care what certain people think.
but I care what certain people think,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a hard balance.
It really is. It's a learned one too.
But yeah, I mean, everybody wants accepted at least by someone,
Right. Right.
and I'm not even saying necessarily relationship wise. Just everybody wants at least that one friend that is always there for them,
Right.
or a loved one, and so many people don't get that because they're weird or
Right. Socially awkward.
socially awkward.
Right. I do like how he points out that he doesn't want to hurt his mom. Again, it goes back to that judgment thing and calling the people that do commit suicide selfish. They've thought about it. They thought about their parents. They thought about maybe the friends that they do have. They don't want to hurt them. It's just they're feeling so much hurt.
Yes and no. I think it's case by case.
Well, yeah, but for the
I've definitely met people that did it, that wanted to do it to hurt the ones around them because they feel like that they've been hurt.
I want to say that that's not true suicidal mentality like is being discussed in this track, though. That's more of a vengeance thing.
Right.
That's retaliation versus an actual desire to die and feeling like you will only be happy when you're dead.
Right. Well, and then, like mine, again, when I was a teenager, I wasn't worried about hurting people. I was more of the mind state that no one cares.
Right.
No one's going to miss me when I'm gone.
Yeah, but that's what you were...
I mean, as a
for
parent
sure.
now...
You understand
I
the damage
understand.
it would have caused.
But no, as a teenager, that was... I was
Right.
going to use my mom's pills to do it. It was...
Right.
But yeah, it's a rough conversation to have, people.
Gonna be okay. Ooh. Wait, before you make your decision, take a second, put yourself in your family's position. Know you feeling like death is the only way, but it isn't. Know the pain's hard, but I swear it's just...
Already loving this.
I love it when he does both sides.
Because now he's on the other side.
I really like when he does this. The sign, I just want to be okay. I've said that so many times. Not just mentally, but also with the fibro, having had it since puberty. I never got to do 90% of the stuff that people have described to me from, or I saw with my sister in junior high, high school, college years. I didn't get to party. I didn't go to sports. Obviously, I don't give a shit about sports. I might have if I had been able to go to homecoming or the games, or
I'll take you to a Colts game sometime.
I went home and I napped. I was that tired. Like, I graduated early more because I needed to go to a different type of schooling, which was once a week versus every day, because I couldn't get up in the mornings to go to school. It was just too much. Same thing when I started working and had to work and put myself through college. Like, it was slow going. I worked a lot and I went home and I crashed. I did not go to parties. I didn't have, I mean, I'm lucky I have a close friend from that time, but I didn't keep many of those friends at all. She is literally the only one because I couldn't go out on weekends.
Right.
You know, it just wasn't a thing. So I've said I want to be okay so many times, but I think the thing that you start to realize as you get more mature is what is okay. There is no baseline for okay. Everyone has their own level of fucked up weirdness, anxiety, something. There's really no okay.
Right.
Wait, before you make your decision, take a second, put yourself in your family's position. Know you feeling like death is the only way, but it isn't. Know the pain's hard, but I swear it's just here to visit. So please, don't do it, I can promise that it doesn't help. The pain will pass, you passing the pain to someone else. You gotta build...
I had a thought,
They gonna bond?
and it was a thought. Now I can't remember the thought.
Play it back and see if you have the same thought.
It isn't. No, the pain's hard, but I swear it's just here to visit. So
That was my thought. Anybody that is thinking about suicide, I urge you to give it time.
I'd agree with that 100%.
I mean, again, I had a song that pulled me out of it. It was Eminem's "Sing for the Moment," and it made me realize, and it's one of the things I love about music because of how powerful it can be.
Right.
It made me realize that no matter how bad I thought I had it,
Right.
that there's always somebody out there that has it worse, and they're pushing through.
Right.
Which kind of became my mind state, and it's why, like, even when I'm like sad or depressed, honestly, I just listen to it for fun now. But when I'm sad or depressed, I actually have playlists of just sad music, and I've had people worried. They're like, because they know I'm sad, they know I'm depressed, because I'm not as quiet about it as I was when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, I wouldn't tell anyone. But if somebody's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Now could be better.
Right. But sometimes the music is your outlet. It lets you pour out those emotions through someone else.
Right.
Which is why some of us listen to that kind of music when we are sad. It doesn't necessarily make us more sad. It makes us feel understood.
Well, and the biggest thing about depression, and everyone goes, I mean, most people that have depression have this thought. They feel like they're the only ones.
And being reminded.
When you listen to this music, you realize you're not.
Not even remotely.
There are tons of other people going through the same shit you're going through.
Well, and I think part of that is Vin Jay, well, part of what you said is Vin Jay's point, but also it brings something up when you say you're not as quiet about it as you used to be. A lot of us we hold it in so hard, and at the very beginning he's talking about the fake smiles, and a lot of people just say I'm fine, and
because they don't want to burden other people with their
exactly
issues.
But the problem is that when we do that, we isolate ourselves, and then it becomes a reality. The mind state of no one cares, I don't have any friends, becomes a mind state because you're so closed off. No one can be close to you. No one can be that person that maybe they want to be, the shoulder for you to cry on, the person you can trust with your issues.
Right.
So if you are feeling suicidal, it is important to just take a moment and reflect. Take some time. Whether that's internally, which is not the best option, or with someone that you can trust, like a parent or somebody, a spouse, a partner,
right,
friends. Just say, I'm not doing so well.
And you don't even have to necessarily say,
I'm suicidal.
Hey, I'm thinking about killing myself.
No, just I'm not doing so well.
I'm not doing so well. Talk with them. Tell them what's bothering you.
Yeah.
And honestly, most of the time, just having somebody to talk to is actually really helpful. And I don't mean they don't even have to answer. Sometimes just letting it out.
It's the letting it out. It's purging the venom from your system. It
right.
really is. You need that safe space.
Vin Jay is really pretty.
Pretty is an accurate word. I'm sorry, man. You are very pretty.
We love you.
Yes, you're very masculine, but you're very pretty. We're not trying to emasculate you here.
Feeling like death is the only way, but it isn't. No, the pain's hard, but I swear it's just here to visit. So please, don't do it. I can promise that it doesn't help. The pain will pass, you passing the pain to someone else. You got a beautiful soul, don't make them suffer. I know you'll get through it, I know that you got it covered. You're made special, kind, loving, and gentle. Even if you can't see it, just know that you got potential. I know you suffer through the day trying to hold composure, but God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. I don't want to see the day that you fall apart, so keep pushing the fighter, I know it's who you are. Even though you feel like you live with a broken heart, just know the darkest nights make the brightest stars. And I promise it gets better with time. I know it doesn't feel like it, but depression, it lies. You deserve much more, so just sever the ties between those toxic thoughts and your intelligent mind. I know it's tough when you battling depression. It's hard to fake a smile with the pain that you're suppressing. Your mind plays tricks and it got you second guessing. But people care about you and need the feel of your presence. You got family, they love you, try to remember. I know you think you're nothing, but in their mind you're a treasure. Times get rough and I know you feeling the pressure. But I've been through it too and I swear that it gets better. And I don't wanna live like this, I'm on my own. And I don't wanna leave right now, but I'm all alone. Cause I don't wanna feel this pain, I'd rather die right now. I just wanna be okay. Ooh.
Come on, Vin Jay. He didn't do it. Usually, most people, when they do a song about suicide, they put up the suicide prevention outline. I'd put it up for you guys, but I don't have actual editing equipment, so look it up.
But do, if you need it, do look it up.
That is a rough song, but one that needs to be done. I wish every artist had a song kind of like this. A lot of artists do.
They do.
Again, if suicide is on your mind,
Talk to someone.
talk to someone.
They can be a stranger too. I mean, that's what the hotlines are for, is for someone who's complete stranger, who's not judging you, who, you know, doesn't see you every day. You don't ever have to talk to that person again if you don't want to.
Right.
You know, just reach out.
Oh.
And as you saw, that was definitely a kind of play it forward moment at the end there. And, you know, that's a connection that a lot of us have. I found other people around my age that have fibromyalgia a few years ago because someone asked me if I was willing to talk them through rough times, and they've become some of the closest friends that I now have. And all the years of psychology classes and all the medical issues finally paid off. Like, I'm here and I was able to help them because I have the experience and the knowledge and knew how to talk to them.
And honestly, guys, if you need somebody that's not going to be judgmental to talk to, you're more than welcome to hit up
our comments.
hit up my Twitter. I've got no issues talking through Twitter.
Me neither.
I've also got the time. I sit at work for 10-hour shifts this month. I don't do anything at my job, guys. Like, legit.
He's paid to be pretty.
I'm on 10-hour shifts. I work at most about an hour and a half to 2 hours of those 10 hours. I am there sitting there playing video games or scoping out YouTube, scoping out Twitter, talking to her, talking to other people.
Like I said, I'm on Social Security disability, so hit up my Twitter if you need
Right.
If you need someone.
If you need somebody to talk to that's been there. Like I said, I was this close. I had the pills in my mouth. Thank God it is hard to dry swallow a handful of pills.
No comment.
Because I was trying.
No comment.
If you need somebody to talk to, I've been there. She's been there.
We're here for you.
We're here for you.
Vin Jay, that was an amazing song.
Yes.
Amazing message.
It
was raw and it was deep. And again, I love the two sides.
It's honestly my second favorite song he's done. The first one being Mumble Rapper versus Lyricist.
That's how I found Vin Jay.
Which is how I found him
and
as well.
it's an amazing, but again, it's the two-sided
I like
thing.
the message of this one more.
Oh, definitely.
But
yeah, I mean, this is a all-encompassing message. That's a message specifically for the genre.
And if you guys like these type of songs, Joyner Lucas did one very similar to this called I'm Sorry.
Right.
Except in that one, it was the guy who actually committed suicide and then his brother.
Okay.
Were the two sides he rapped as. Joyner's actually very well known for being rapping from two sides.
Right.
Um,
There's a plethora of good artists out there that have conscientious music and definitely messages for suicide prevention or understanding, compassion. Again, like I said, compassion is what's needed.
right.
So we appreciate this.
When I tell you I love y'all, at the end of every single reaction, I mean it. It's not just a general love you, bye.
Note that I don't say it.
I genuinely do have a very deep love for people. I think most of you suck.
That's what I was gonna say.
As people, but
Well,
I still love you. It's, I don't know, it's weird. I have an internal struggle all the time with how I feel about things.
I'm a very misanthropic humanitarian. I love humanity. I dislike the majority of individual people.
I have days where I'm like, I love people, and then I have days where I'm like, Thanos was right.
Right. Well, I mean, part of that is coming from being such an introvert. The other part is just I'm cynical as fuck. And y'all need to lighten up. Look.
Reminds me of a kid got in trouble at school. I use this term, by the way, a lot now. Kid got in trouble at school and wrote up, and on the description on the slip to his mom was, kid picked up classroom lamp, threw it at another child and said, you need to lighten the fuck up. I was like, that is so amazing.
Right.
I've used that on Twitter. I've posted a picture of a lamp and be like, y'all need to lighten the fuck up.
Right. I saw that.
But yeah, guys, Vin Jay, amazing track, man. So glad you did it. Loved it. This is a much longer reaction than I
Love that
expected,
you did
but
this message. Thank you for it.
yes. And again, so sorry it took so long to get back to you, homie. With that being said, guys, we're gonna end it here. Check all the things down below. We love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Cannot wait to see depraved people later.
Night.